I saw you grinding on that slut, she screamed before punching me square in the face in front of 200 strangers. So I hit record on my phone and let her dig her own grave for the next 2 hours. I am Hunter 29, software engineer. Generally try to avoid drama at all costs. Been dating Madison 27 for about 8 months. She works in marketing and has what I thought were just passionate reactions to things. Turns out passionate and psychotic aren't the same thing. Last Saturday night, my crew decided to hit up Club Noir downtown to celebrate my buddy Travis getting promoted to department head. It was supposed to be me, Madison, my best friends Garrett and Travis, plus their girlfriends Jessica and Amber. Just a chill night out with good people. We got there around 10 p.m. Grabbed a VIP booth upstairs. The girls ordered some fancy cocktails and were doing their thing, taking selfies, catching up on gossip. You know how it is. Madison seemed a little off from the start though. She kept making these weird comments about other women in the club. Like, look at that desperate girl trying so hard. Or those fake lashes are ridiculous. I should have paid more attention to that red flag. Around 11:30, me, Garrett, and Travis went down to the main floor to dance. The music was good. We were just vibing, having a great time. I wasn't talking to any girls. Wasn't even looking at anyone else. Just dancing with my boys like we always do. We had been down there maybe 20 minutes. When I saw this blur of motion coming toward me, Madison comes storming through the crowd, face completely red with rage. Before I could even process what was happening, she cocked back and punched me right in the nose. Hard. Like, I actually saw stars for a second. The music was loud, but somehow everyone around us heard the impact and turned to stare. I saw you grinding on that slut, she screamed at the top of her lungs, pointing at absolutely no one in particular. I was so shocked I just stood there bleeding, trying to figure out what the hell she was talking about. I hadn't been near any girls, hadn't been grinding on anyone. I was literally just dancing normally with Garrett and Travis. The club security was on us immediately. 2 big dudes in black shirts grabbed Madison by the arms while she is still screaming about how I am a cheating piece of shit. Everyone's staring. People are pulling out phones. And I am standing there with blood running down my face, feeling completely humiliated. Security escorted her toward the exit while I grabbed some napkins from the bar. Garrett was like, dude, what the actual fuck just happened? And Travis was ready to call an Uber to take me straight home. But here is where I made my biggest mistake. Part of me felt responsible. She was clearly drunk and upset. And despite everything, I didn't want her walking around downtown alone at night. I know that sounds stupid now, but in the moment, I was still trying to be the good boyfriend. So instead of staying with my friends and having a good time, I told them I needed to make sure she got home safe. They thought I was crazy but let me go. I caught up with Madison outside the club, and she was pacing back and forth on the sidewalk like a caged animal. My mind was racing. Part of me wanted to just walk away, but another part kept thinking about all the stories you hear about drunk women alone downtown. You embarrassed me in there, she said. Like somehow I was the one who did something wrong. You were checking out every single girl in that place. I tried to explain that I literally wasn't, that I was just dancing with my friends, but she cut me off. Don't lie to me, Hunter. I saw you. The walk back to her apartment is normally about 8 blocks through some quieter side streets. What happened during that walk is something I will never forget. And honestly, something that still makes me question how I didn't see the signs earlier. But what happened on the way home made me realize I didn't know Madison at all. Edit. Holy shit, guys. This blew up overnight. Thanks for all the comments telling me I am not crazy. A lot of you are asking about pressing charges. I am definitely looking into it. Will update soon. Edit 2. To everyone asking why I didn't just leave her at the club, you are absolutely right. I was being an idiot trying to be the good guy. Lesson learned. Update 1. Sorry for the late update, guys. Had to deal with some car trouble and work overtime this week. Holy shit though. Your comments on my last post really opened my eyes. A lot of you were asking for details about the walk home. And honestly, I wasn't sure I should share this because it sounds so insane. But after talking to a lawyer, yeah, it got that serious. But here is what went down during those 8 blocks from hell. The first 2 blocks were relatively normal. Madison was still ranting about how I was disrespecting her and embarrassing her in public. I kept trying to calm her down, saying we had talk about it when we got to her place. Classic conflict avoidant hunter, trying to keep the peace. But I will be honest. I was getting more nervous with each step. Something felt really wrong about her energy. Then we hit this longer stretch on 3rd Street, and that is when shit got real. There was this girl walking toward us, probably heading home from another bar or something. Young blonde in a black dress, just minding her own business with headphones in. Madison sees her from like a block away and something just snaps. She breaks away from me and literally runs at this girl. I am talking full sprint. The girl doesn't even see her coming until Madison shoves her so hard, she stumbles backward into a parked car. The girl's phone goes flying and cracks on the pavement. "Stop staring at my boyfriend," Madison screams in her face. The poor girl is terrified, trying to back away, saying she wasn't even looking at me, and she wasn't. She had headphones in and was looking down at her phone the whole time. I rushed over to break it up, helped the girl steady herself, and apologized like crazy. She was shaken up but okay, just wanted to get away from us. I gave her $40 for her broken phone, and Madison stood there looking proud of herself like she had just defended our relationship or something. I thought Madison had just lost her mind for a second, but as we kept walking, I realized this wasn't a one-time thing. 2 blocks later, Madison attacks a girl coming out of a late-night taco place, just walked up and slapped her across the face for making eye contact with me. The girl was coming out of the restaurant looking at her food. Not even in our direction. I had to apologize again and help the girl clean salsa off her shirt. Another block, 2 girls walking together, laughing about something. Madison shoved both of them and called them sluts. I am starting to panic at this point because I realize I am witnessing something seriously wrong. This isn't jealousy. This is assault. These are completely random women who hadn't even noticed we existed. By the time we made it to her building, Madison had physically attacked 4 different women for basically existing in the same area as her boyfriend. 4 separate assaults on innocent people just trying to get home or grab food. I apologized to every single one, helped them up, and even paid for damages when I could. The worst part? Madison was getting more aggressive with each attack, like she was enjoying it. She kept looking back at me after each one with this satisfied smile, like she was doing me some kind of favor. When we finally got to her apartment, I was done. Completely done. I told her this was insane, that she had just assaulted 4 innocent people, and that I couldn't be with someone who acted like this. That is when she looked me dead in the eye and said, "You think this was bad? You haven't seen anything yet. I will teach you what happens when you disrespect me." I was about to leave when she pulled out her phone. At first I thought she was calling an Uber or something. Then I heard what she was saying to the 911 operator. "Please help me, my boyfriend just beat me up. He is in my apartment right now threatening me. I am scared for my life. His name is Hunter, and he is refusing to leave. Please send someone right away." I just stood there with my mouth open. She was looking right at me while she said it, with this cold smile on her face. That is when I realized this whole thing had been planned. The fight at the club, the walk home, all of it. She wanted to get me alone so she could pull this. But here is the thing. Madison didn't know about me. I have been burned by crazy before. My ex in college tried to manipulate me with false accusations when I broke up with her. And I swore I would never let that happen again. So when I heard Madison making that call, muscle memory kicked in and I did something that saved my ass. I started recording everything on my phone. Every word, every lie, every threat she made after hanging up with the cops. Because I knew that in about 10 minutes, the police were going to show up and hear 2 very different stories about what happened tonight. What I captured on that recording changed everything, but the cops showed up faster than I expected. And what happened next made me realize this situation was about to get a whole lot more complicated. Edit. Thanks for all the support, guys. Some of you are asking about the recording. Yes, I am in a one-party consent state, so it is completely legal. My lawyer confirmed this. Edit 2. To everyone asking about the other victims, 2 of them have contacted me since this post went up. They are considering pressing additional charges. This is getting bigger than I thought. Edit 3. No guys. I am not going back to her when she gets out. Jesus Christ. Some of you need to touch grass. Update 2. Been putting off this update for a few days because honestly, I am still processing everything that went down. Just got back from another meeting with my lawyer and the detective assigned to the case. This whole thing has turned into something way bigger than I ever expected. So where I left off, I had just started recording Madison's fake 911 call when we heard sirens outside. 2 patrol cars pulled up, and I knew I had about 30 seconds before they came through that door. Madison immediately switched into victim mode. She messed up her hair, knocked over a lamp, and even scratched her own face. Just raked her nails down her cheek hard enough to draw blood. Then she looked at me and whispered, "Good luck explaining this to them." The cops knocked, and Madison answered the door sobbing. "Thank God you are here. He has been hitting me all night. Look what he did to my face." She pointed at the scratches she had just given herself. Officer Martinez came in first, a middle-aged guy who looked like he had dealt with domestic situations before. His partner, Officer Walker, immediately separated us. They put me in the kitchen while Madison stayed in the living room telling her story. I could hear her through the wall going on about how I had been violent and controlling and how tonight at the club I snapped and started beating her. She was crying and everything. Sounded completely convincing. If I didn't know the truth, I would have believed her myself. When Officer Martinez came to talk to me, I was honest about everything, told him about the club incident, the 4 attacks on random women, the fake phone call I had recorded. He looked skeptical at first. I mean, it sounds insane when you say it out loud. "Sir, do you have any evidence to support your claims?" he asked. That is when I showed him my phone. The recording was crystal clear. You could hear Madison's voice saying, "I will teach you what happens when you disrespect me," followed by her making the fake 911 call. You could even hear her coaching herself on what to say. Officer Martinez's whole demeanor changed when he heard it. He called his partner over, and they listened to the whole thing together. Then Martinez asked me something that made my stomach drop. "Son, has she ever done anything like this before? Filed false reports?" I told him no, that this was the first time anything like this had happened, but the way he asked made me think they had a reason for wondering. That is when Officer Walker came back from the living room with a weird expression on his face. "Martinez, we need to talk outside for a minute." Martinez was talking in low voices. When they came back, Martinez looked grim. "Mr. Hunter, we have had 2 other calls tonight about incidents involving a woman matching your girlfriend's description. Apparently there were assault reports filed about attacks on women in this area around midnight." My heart started racing. The 4 women, some of them had actually called the police. Walker continued. "We also ran her name through our system while we were outside. Madison Torres has 1 prior arrest for filing a false domestic violence report against a previous boyfriend. The case was dismissed when evidence proved she was lying." I felt like I was going to throw up. Another guy. She had done this exact same thing to someone else before me. Martinez pulled out his handcuffs. "Ms. Torres, you are under arrest for filing a false police report and multiple counts of assault." The next 20 minutes were surreal. Madison went from sobbing victim to screaming banshee the moment she realized her plan had failed. She tried to claim the recording was fake, that I had somehow edited it. She threatened to sue everyone involved. She even tried to attack Officer Walker when he read her rights. As they walked her out in handcuffs, she looked back at me and said, "This isn't over, Hunter. You will regret this." But here is where the story gets even crazier. After the cops left, I went outside to get some air and clear my head. That is when I saw her. One of the women Madison had attacked earlier. She was standing across the street with another girl I recognized from the walk home. Turns out, they had all found each other after the incidents and decided to go to the police together. They had been waiting outside to see what happened when the cops showed up. The girl Madison had shoved into the car came over to me. "Are you okay?" she asked. "We saw what really happened tonight. That woman is dangerous." I broke down crying right there on the sidewalk, not just from stress, but from relief. For the first time all night, someone believed me without question. These women I had never met before were supporting me when my own girlfriend had tried to destroy my life. But what one of them told me next made me realize that tonight was just the beginning of a much bigger nightmare. And what the detective discovered during the investigation completely changed how I understood everything that had happened. Edit. For everyone asking, yes, the recording held up in court. Crystal clear audio, completely admissible. Edit 2. To those asking about my nose, it healed fine. No permanent damage. Thanks for asking. Edit 3. Stop asking for Madison's info in my DMs. I am not giving it out, and you shouldn't be contacting her anyway. Final update. It has been 8 months since that insane night, and I finally feel ready to give you guys the full resolution. The legal stuff just wrapped up last week, and honestly, the justice system moved slower than I expected, but more thoroughly than I hoped. First, let me address what that woman told me outside Madison's apartment that night. She recognized the pattern of behavior immediately, and told me something that chilled me to the bone. This is textbook predatory behavior. She has done this before, and she will do it again until someone stops her. She was right. Over the next few months, the police investigation uncovered that Madison had restraining orders filed against her by 2 different ex-boyfriends, not just the one arrest they initially found. One guy, Marcus, had been forced to move states to get away from her harassment. The legal proceedings took 8 months total. Madison's lawyer tried to get the charges reduced, claiming she was drunk and not thinking clearly, but the evidence was overwhelming. My recording, the club's security footage, testimonies from 4 assault victims, and her prior history made it an open and shut case. Madison initially pled not guilty and wanted to take it to trial. Her strategy was apparently to claim I was the real abuser, and she was acting in self-defense. But 3 months in, when her lawyer saw the mountain of evidence against her, she changed her plea to guilty to avoid a longer sentence. She got 15 months in county jail plus 2 years probation, had to pay restitution to all the women she attacked that night, plus my medical bills from the broken nose. The restraining order was approved immediately and extends for 5 years. But here is the part that really got to me. One of her ex-boyfriends showed up to court. Ryan. He came up to me afterward and said, "Thank you for fighting back. I was too embarrassed to tell anyone what she did to me." Apparently, Madison had used the same playbook on him 2 years ago. Fake domestic violence calls, attacking random women, then threatening to ruin his life if he left her. He ended up losing his job because she kept calling his workplace claiming he was stalking her. That conversation made me realize how many other guys might be out there who went through this same nightmare and never spoke up, because they felt like no one would believe them. Madison's employer found out about the arrest when the local news picked up the story about a month later. She worked for a marketing firm that handled several domestic violence awareness campaigns. The irony wasn't lost on them. They fired her within 2 weeks of the conviction. Through mutual friends, I heard she moved back in with her parents in Ohio after getting out on bail, lost her apartment, lost her job, lost most of her friends when the truth came out. She is apparently working at a retail store now and still single. Turns out being a psychopath has consequences. As for me, I am doing great. As for me, I've been working out regularly, and I have been seeing someone new for about 2 months now. Her name's Alice. She is a teacher, and when I told her this whole story on our 3rd date, her reaction was, "Thank God you recorded that. What an absolute psycho. No red flags, no jealousy issues, no drama. It is weird how normal and healthy feels strange when you are used to chaos." The whole experience taught me something important though. Document everything when you are dealing with toxic people. If I hadn't hit record that night, I would probably be the one who spent time in jail. Trust your gut when someone shows you who they really are. To the guys reading this, who might be in similar situations, it is not your fault. Don't let anyone make you feel like you have to accept abuse just because you are a man. And to everyone who showed support on my previous posts, you guys helped me realize I wasn't alone in this. Sometimes the internet gets it right. Madison still has one more charge pending from a separate incident that came to light during the investigation. But that is not my problem anymore. Justice served. Life moving forward. And I sleep better at night, knowing she cannot do this to anyone else for a while. Sometimes the good guys actually win. Edit. Thanks for all the awards and support. Guys, this community really helped me through the darkest time in my life. Edit 2 for everyone asking about Alice. Yes, she knows about all this and she is amazing. We are taking things slow, but I am really happy. Edit 3. To the guys who shared their own stories in the comments, you are brave as hell for speaking up. It is not just women who deal with this shit. Stay strong. Brother.